So I've been meaning to kind of get to this subject, but the thing is I don't really know what to say about this news. That being, apparently, Marvel and Disney have pulled the Inhumans film from their lineup. Now, initially, it was supposed to come in at November 2018, and now it's then it got pushed back, with the announcement of the Spider-Man film, and now it's been apparently been pulled altogether from it. Now, don't worry, Captain Marvel, the Carol Danvers movie is still coming out, as well as Black Panther. Inhumans is the only one that has been pulled. That's the only one that has been really pulled from their scheduling, really. But yeah, thankfully, Infinity War, that's still going. Black Panther and Captain Marvel, those films are still a go as well. Which I think, honestly, out of all the films if I was told, hey, you got to pull one of these Marvel films from the list, I'd have been like, I would have chosen Inhumans too, because yeah, I want to see a movie focusing on Carol Danvers, as well as I want to see a film on Black Panther. So yeah, if Inhumans has to go to for T'Challa and for Carol to get their own films, I'm kind of at peace with that. Now, I love the Inhumans. It's not to say I don't like the Inhumans. No, that is not the case. I love Black Bolt, Triton, Crystal, Medusa, all of them. They're really cool characters. But let's be honest here. Let's be honest here, and I'm not trying to sound mean or anything, because I do love the Inhumans. But I think the problem with the Inhumans, especially with what they're doing now in Marvel, not just TV-wise, but comic-wise, is trying to make them too much like X-Men. And yes, I know they don't have the rights to X-Men anymore. Well, not comic-wise, but everything else-wise. So it would stand to reason that they would go with the next best thing, making the Inhumans the new X-Men. And that's what they've been trying to do for a long time. But I feel like, they're trying a little too hard. Like, I've always said that, if you can't do... since Marvel doesn't have the rights to X-Men for their films anymore, the next logical option would go with Inhumans, because it kind of follows the same thing. However, what you don't do is try to make it 100% like X-Men, and and just try to, follow the same patterns. Just let the Inhumans be Inhumans, it's not, it's humans that were evolved from Terrigen Mist, but the thing is that you're making the Inhuman thing too much like X-Men, to the point where you can call it, I can't believe it's not X-Men. That's what I call, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now. I can't believe it's not X-Men. Also, I think I might be dropping off Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's not that it's terrible, and it's not the Inhumans thing. I actually like, the Inhumans element is kind of cool. It's boring. The show's become boring, really. Not terrible boring, but just like, I have no care whatsoever. I mean, I still like the show, Phil Coulson's still a pretty cool character, and I do like the character of May as well, and Mac. There are characters in there that I get invested for, but recently, the whole Inhumans thing, and also, let me talk about something else that's really just been bothering me, is the sudden 180 that the character of Daisy's had, where this character's now become quintessentially the social justice warrior of Inhumans. And at first, throughout season 2, that was the whole thing, is that she was afraid of herself and all that power. But the second, we got more Inhumans, she's suddenly like, no, Inhumans need this power. We deserve it. We're right, and no one else can tell us we're wrong. Even though I was afraid and ashamed of my own abilities, I suddenly have become the voice of the Inhumans, because I'm that kind of character now, for no goddamn reason. Ugh. I don't know, I just have not cared about... I've never cared about that character. I thought they did some cool stuff in Season 2. Season 2 had some cool elements here and there. Especially, I actually like the story arc with her and Mr. Hyde. But, all in all, I'm just kind of, like, bored right now. Maybe I'll just watch the rest of the season, because I think these last 4 episodes are the last episodes of the season. But after that, I'm checking out. Same with Arrow. I've decided one more episode of Arrow, and then I'm checking out. And that's only because I want to see what promise Laurel made to Oliver. Just out of, it's not because, oh, I'm invested in the show. It's because it's out of curiosity, and it's gonna bug the shit out of me if I don't hear that, promise and what was made. It's probably gonna have to do something with Olicity. Don't get me wrong. It's more than likely gonna be something to do with Olicity, but I have to do it, or it's gonna bug me in the back of my head for the rest of if I don't watch this, and then I'm gonna check right the fuck out. Sorry about that rant. I went on total rant mode, didn't I? Anyway, but getting back to Inhumans, I feel like the big problem is that, and this might coalesce with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again, is that with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they've been building up the Inhuman thing and it's good, and, initially, like we all knew, that Inhumans wasn't going to be out until 2018, so Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would literally be building up with Inhumans for 4 years and expect us to know these characters right off the bat. Or they could just do the Spacebound Inhumans. That could have been the original plot, was that they were going to have Black Bolt and all these other of the characters from Atalan as the characters. But now it's kind of like, where do you go now? Is it now, have they decided that these other... Because here's the other thing I forgot to mention earlier, and I completely forgot earlier, was that they had announced, I think, 1 or 2 untitled films, and that was the reason why they pushed the other films back. And I think they decided, for production reasons, they decided to cut Inhumans, and for all we know, they might actually attempt to just bring the Inhumans and make them a television thing. That might be the case, and I'm kind of worried about that, because hopefully, if anything, maybe we can get an Inhumans Netflix show. Is that possible? Can we just have a cosmic TV show on Netflix? Can that be fine? Can we not have it on ABC? I mean, we're getting 2 shows. We're getting 3, 2 on ABC, that Mockingbird show, and we've got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And the other thing is the Cloak and Dagger TV show that's still apparently a go on Freeform. And yeah, I would think, maybe if we're not going to have them in the theater, why not just put them on, the small screen? Because then you can with a TV series, you can branch out with more characters and give them each character more spotlight. And that would be... And honestly, I think an Inhumans TV series would be kind of cool. You could give it like a Farscape or Star Trek kind of feel, really. So that's how I kind of feel. Maybe they decided, with the announcement of these 2 films, and of course Infinity War is going to be a big thing. Maybe they decided the reason they decided to pull the film from their list is to maybe do something else. At least that's what I hope, anyway. So you guys tell me. How do you feel about the Inhumans film being apparently pulled from Marvel's list? This is the first time they've done this. Hopefully it'll be the first and only time they do this. Please. Knock on wood right now. But yeah. How do you guys feel about an Inhumans film being apparently canceled? Are you guys okay with it? Are you guys not okay with it? And if so, where do you want to see the Inhumans go? Do you want to see it to be a TV series, or do you want to see something else done with it? Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.